In all of our years in journalism, this is one of the most difficult stories we've ever had to tell. This is one of those stories that you never want to hear or report on because it's so unconscionable it should never happen in civilized society. But tragically, it does. This story involves a man who is currently engaged and living with his fiancée and her 3 young children, and his sexual fantasies about the eldest daughter, who is in her early teens. Now, we don't usually report on someone's private sexual fantasies, and while we were told a crime is yet to be committed, we couldn't take the chance. Our source is very concerned that he might eventually act out on his fantasies, so we verified the information as best we could and took it to the relevant authorities as quickly as possible. Coming on the heels of last week's arrest of CNN producer John Griffin on multiple counts of trying to elicit unlawful sexual activity with minors, the subject of our story is another CNN producer whom had an ongoing relationship with our source for over a decade. When the source came to us, we had some reservations about her history as a former sex worker, which makes her an easy target for anyone who wants to discredit her. But after spending time with her and vetting the photographs, texts, and FaceTime videos she showed us, we felt compelled we had a duty to take action to protect the children who were involved.
Sir, I'm done having my mouth on her. I'm going to walk up and put my pouch very close to her face. Slowly unzip my zipper.
And as you were getting these text messages, what was going through your mind?
I feel disgusting. I feel dirty. My name is Janine Bonanni, and I'm currently a case manager for human trafficking victims as well as domestic violence and sexual assault. I also am the certified recovery specialist for drugs and alcohol in one of our other programs.
And tell us your story. What made you come to Project Veritas?
This was a hard decision to make. I had to, say something about this girl. I was also a victim when I was 13 years old of sexual assault, and hearing the words that I said just, made me want to reach out and help this girl.
What are we looking at here?
He sent me a photo of his daughter. It was not pornographic. And I reply, it's your girl's kid, like your girlfriend's kid. She asked me, do you think of her when you're in the shower? A little bit. Tell the truth. I said, no, you just turn me on so much, like not a kid, And then he's talking about her here, saying, what are you going to think about with her? It's killing me in so many ways. And that's when he sent the picture.
And that's a blur. We've blurred that image, but what is the image of?
It's a child on a boat, just holding on to the railing of the boat with the ocean.
And that's his fiance's child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's talking about his fiance's stepdaughter, underage daughter. She was wearing very closely cut bottoms at the pool. You asked for pictures. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I asked him for pictures because this is when it started to get, way more deep, saying things on the bottom screen, like way more deep. And I said to myself, I need to get evidence as much as I can.
I see.
To help this case.
So at this point, it seems like you're eliciting him.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm saying, tell me, because I want him to just, dig that hole deeper. Right. And that's exactly what happened. He got excited off this.
It seems like he wants you to be turned on by his repulsive, perverse sexual attraction to this 13, 14-year-old girl.
Usually every time we text, it's always about him wanting to see me and his stepdaughter together. But I do have a recording of him on the phone, and the whole time he's talking about what he wants to do to the daughter.
Sir, I'm done having my mouth on her. I'm going to walk up and put my pouch very close to her face. slowly unzip my zipper and just guide her head a little closer. And I'm just going to have her kiss the head, lightly kiss the head of my and I'm going to put her hand around it so she can feel what that hard flesh feels like.
And that was just my way to, get him face to face so I can actually have proof of words coming out of his mouth. I know you can't see anything on this one, but the other two, you can see his face, him talking explicitly.
And you did go to the police.
They did not take it serious. They had me in the hallway with my mother. They didn't bring us in a room. He went and asked his supervisor, and they said there's no case here. He wouldn't even look at my phone to show him the evidence.
And as you were getting these text messages, what was going through your mind?
I feel disgusting. Mm-hmm. I feel dirty.
Now you do say he turns you on, so were you just saying that to kind of go along with it?
Absolutely. This is in the beginning. I believe he started, out of 10 years, he's never mentioned a child before. And in August, he started sending me little bits at a time. And I kept on saying to myself, what am I doing with this? You know what I mean? I'm watching this man talk about his stepdaughter in a sexual way, sending me photos of his stepdaughter. If I was her mother and I found out my fiance is sending photos of my child and talking about her in a sexual way, you're going to prison. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm going to fight until something happens because I don't know this kid. You know what I mean? And for you to send it to me and telling me, go ahead, let it all out.
What does he mean, go ahead, let it all out?
He wants me to respond in a sexual way, oh, she's so hot, I want to do this and that, da-da-da. And I'll just reply with stupid little text, but I'm still replying, and it makes me upset. He sent me a text saying, I love that she is getting hot. I want to taste how wet she makes you.
And he's talking about who?
His stepdaughter, who's 14 years old.
Okay. When did you first meet him, and how did you meet?
I met him about 10 years ago when I was being trafficked. I was on Backpage, and he called to buy sex from me. And I went to the casino, and that's how everything started. And I feel like he thinks he can confide in me with everything because of my past and the things that I've been through. He thinks it's no big deal telling me. But it's a complete opposite. Hearing the things that he was saying, reading the things that he was saying, even about my daughter, he's asked for things, and it has infuriated me.
Your daughter?
My daughter.
How old is your daughter?
15. He's asked for nudes of mom and daughter several times.
He's asked for nude pictures of your 15-year-old daughter?
Yep. And then other times you say, oh, she's not old enough for mom and daughter pics. He always says mom and daughter pics. And I even have him on camera saying that he said that. If he's talking about this girl and he's talking about my daughter, what other things is he doing? I want this girl to be safe.
We're looking at a text message. Could you tell us what this means?
He said, so I'm not getting mother-daughter nudes for this help. And when he says this help, he sent me money. So he thinks, because you sent me money, you're going to get a nude photo of me and my daughter? Are you insane? Like I said, it gradually got bigger and bigger and bigger. I didn't know how to reply or what to do, you know?
It started in August.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I have a 10-year friendship with this man. You know what I mean? It's not like I just met him, so it's confusing to me. Mm-hmm. Why would you trust me with this material? And if you're trusting me, who you've only met twice in person, who else are you talking to? Mm-hmm. What else is happening at home that I don't know about? He talks about how he wants to see her through the crack of the door while she's getting dressed, help her explore her body for the first time, be the first person to be inside of her.
So recently, John Griffin at CNN was charged with engaging in unlawful activity towards underage girls.
Yep.
And you've had conversations with him about this?
Yeah, the day the news broke, my mom sent me a link to it. I asked him if he heard about it. He said he didn't, so I sent him the link. And he was talking about John Griffin saying, you know, what a pervert and, you know, a scumbag and all that. Like, how could he do that? And in my head, I'm thinking, you're doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, going back to, you know, Jeffrey Epstein with the human trafficking and how, you know, how long it went before it was, you know, actually exposed. And then, you know, you have John Griffin, you know, that's human trafficking also. That mother brought those children there.
By coming forward, people are going to put a lot of scrutiny on you. You know, given your profession, it's just people are going to be skeptical. What is your response to people who may not believe you or your motivations?
I have been a victim pretty much all my life. I do not want this girl to be a victim of anything. But again, the bottom line is to save this girl. I tried going to the police. It didn't work. I don't know if it's because, you know, my history has tainted it or if it's because of who he is. And that's what makes me mad, is that these people with power seem to get away with things. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a detective. I was sick to my stomach with every single thing that was said. But the more he wrote or the more he said or the things I did was just more evidence that I thought was going to at least get a wellness check on her. I just want this kid to be safe.